I was taking him up to see that butchery that's up there. So one of the friends is actually a meat processor, right? So she wanted to see the Haiku butchery. Of course, it wasn't open on Monday, but we got quite a bit of rain. So.
Wow. Of course, the people decide to do lawn work right outside of our condo as soon as it starts.
Always, right? Hey, Miranda, how are you?
Hey, Robert, how are you?
Hanging in there. I'm hanging in there.
Good. Have you been busy?
A little bit. I suppose I could be busier, but
Okay.
I guess just busy enough, right?
Hey, good. Is it just you and I?
Dawn's here too. Latasha's here.
Okay.
So Robert, it's up to you. We can get started and then I can kind of lay out what we're doing and turn it over to you. Or do you want to give it a few more minutes, or for the sake of people's time, what would you prefer?
Let's give it like 30 more seconds and let's go.
Okay, sounds good. I'm gonna check in with the Whaler's office while we're waiting.
Okay. I reached out to Zach Younger because I had seen him teach this before and was asking him, I know he recorded it, but I think it was on, I can't access the video. So I was asking him if he could send the video. He hasn't responded back just yet. I'm sure he will, but
Gotcha.
I know he's busier than I am, so.
Aloha, Brendan, how are you?
Hi, Natasha.
Hey,
Robert.
Brendan, how are you?
Doing great. How about yourselves?
Not bad, not bad. We were just talking a
Good.
little bit about the weather. How's it over your area, your way?
It's starting. It's not as bad as yesterday, or as we see on the news on Maui, but it's still wet and puddling, and you got to drive a lot slower.
Yeah.
You guys staying dry and safe over there too?
It dried out last night sometime, and at least down here it's okay. I haven't been out to the beach yet. I'm sure there's tons of brown water. I'm sure
Oh,
there's
yeah.
tons. Yeah.
Okay, I think we'll go ahead and get started, Robert.
Okay.
And I'll just give people a 30,000 foot perspective about what we're doing today. And then also what we're going to do on Thursday as a follow-up, and then we'll go from there. First of all, welcome everyone. Very excited about today. We are going to, first of all, I do want to remind everyone that either is joining us live on Facebook and or on Zoom, and then also for the recording, just to reiterate that if you have heard of green sheets before, they are done, they are retired, they are living the pasture life. So wanted to let everybody know that. For the newer agents that don't know what I'm talking about, that's fabulous. What that means is that you now get paid through command. And if you have not watched any of our recordings, they are entitled How to Get Paid in Command. So you can go to the YouTube channel, which is MC1002, and simply type in How to Get Paid in Command, and or you can go to our playlist, and we already have a playlist that's entitled How to Get Paid in Command. If you have specific questions as it relates to the functionality of the commissions tab, have some questions about that, you can email Tech Concierge and or reach out to myself or Robert. Specific questions that as it relates to the information, the data, that would go to your broker. Compliance questions, it would either be Michelle De Rosario or Rob if you have compliance questions. And if you need your check and don't have your check, then that goes to Shelby, our market center assistant or extraordinaire. So MCA for short. So those are the call outs that I wanted to mention. So last week on Thursday, one of the participants asked about some smart plan tips. So before Robert gets started to talk about selling safely, what I wanted to do is spend just a couple of minutes talking, I'm giving you some overview of the Smart Plan tips. And then I also wanted to throw out this. Our design series will end on this Thursday. And so this Thursday, we are going to present some tips and tricks for the listing and buyer presentation. And then there's also going to be a chat, longer version for the listing and buyer presentations. As we prepare for the next series, I want to hear your feedback for those that are on the call. We're going to do a few tips for Smart Plans today, but in general, I was thinking of actually having that be the next series and to break down Smart Plans even more. So I saw a thumbs up. What do you guys think that are just joining us or on the call? Do you think that would be a good 4-part series like the designs in which we do segments?
Absolutely, I think so.
Yes.
Okay, Robert,
Cool.
what say you?
I think that's good. That's a good move because yeah, it dovetails nicely. Yeah.
Okay, all right, so let me get out of this screen so I can show you and log into Command to go over a few tips that would be helpful. Get into my Command. Okay, so can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
So this is the dashboard for Command. I'm actually going to go into Smart Plans. The first thing that I want to reiterate, maybe, and there we go. It's a little delayed. Maybe the coffee isn't working. Okay, so a couple of things I wanted to call out. Number one tip, I've got 4 of them for today. If you have not, get into a best practice, and Robert, I know, has mentioned this specifically, make sure that you are sending it to yourself first. Make sure that whenever you're creating something, whether that be a total 100% creation of yours, make sure that you are sending it to yourself. Do not send it out to anyone until you first send it to yourself and actually get it back and edit it and go from there, because some people have sent it out and that's fine, but just get in the best practice habit of making sure that you send it to yourself, do the edits. That's the first thing. Tip number 1. Tip number 2, incorporate designs. The best practice is this, and let me show you what I mean by that. So if we were to, I'm just going to go into one that I've already created. So it's design test, and I'm just going to click on edit. And when you do that, I thought I had it up, but I'm just going to add this. Here we go. So what I did is I clicked on the widget to the right where this widget or element, whichever you want to say, it's widget here, is entitled send an email. So you can select a simple email, which is highlighted here, and you can just type away. And or you can click designs, and then from designs, you want to select design. So then once you select that, it's going to access all of the designs that you did. Now, these designs specifically are coming from designs in the email section. So if you, instead of sending just a quick email tip, you can, for example, let's say you want to do a newsletter. If you wanted to do it, you would click on that. Then it's going to redirect you almost, or actually not almost, as if you're in rebrand, and then you can edit this accordingly. And then that's what the Smart Plan will be. So you can change out each element or area or section. So that would be tip number 2, incorporate designs if you so desire. Tip number 3, if you're planning on sending it out in a text message version, make sure that you have it connected to Twilio. And Robert created many months ago a very good Smart Plan that calls out your Twilio number. So if you're planning on sending text messages or adding that feature or that widget to your Smart Plans, make sure you connect it first, then communicate ahead of time to your clients, potential clients. hey, this is another number that you may receive text messages from. And for the sake of time, let me very quickly, I'm gonna just discard this change. And Robert, do you remember what it was called? I'll do a search, but do you remember? What your
I'm
smart
not
plan-
entirely sure. I know it's in the Smart Plan library, but it would probably
I'll
be
just do a search.
Twilio First Touch.
I'll just do a search by your name. How about that? Robert E.
I think that the biggest thing to remember when the first text goes out from Twilio, it's going to give them that opt-out message. So you want to kind of get past that. So letting them know that you're going to be sending on this alternative number and to put that number in your contact card. That way, when that they get something from that Twilio number, it actually registers to you and it says, hey, Robert or Don or Teresa or Brandon, that we're getting a text from you, right?
So then I simply just selected the drop-down option, author name, typed in Robert E, and then it pops up Twilio First Touch. So I would encourage you, if you haven't utilized that, to first add it to your smart plan. And then once you add it, you can edit it appropriately. But we've got a whopping 121 agents that are using that, which is awesome. So that would be the third tip. And then the fourth tip is going back to the smart plan itself. And I'll show you one quick thing and then I'm done. Go into edit it, another one. So there are several ways that you can save smart plans. Keep in mind that you can do on the top where it says save in teal and or where this check mark is, you can simply hit save right there and it'll automatically save. So those are the first easy peasy, lemon squeezy 4 tips, as my nephew says. So questions, comments, and then I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Robert. No questions? Yes. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Teresa. I can't hear you, but go ahead.
Well, I had to get it unmuted. I had moved you out of the way so I could see the screen.
Oh, no worries.
So on the smart plans, one of the things that I just went through, I went in, the design, I can't even talk today, coffee, design templates, and downloaded it, and then I was going to save it as a new name, and it kept saying that it couldn't be saved as the new name. So seemed like a bug.
That may be a nuance in terms of a glitch. Robert could add anything else, but sometimes here's the thing, sometimes if that does happen, the first thing that I would do is, try it again. Obviously it sounds like you did. Then the other thing that I would do, and you probably already did this, is, I would clear your cookies or cache. Then you could, if that didn't work and then go back in, then you could try an incognito window and see if that helped. And if it didn't, then that means it's a bigger glitch, and just let myself or Robert know and we can get a ticket issued. And I will say that the smart plans in general are the most reliable. They have a 99% effective rating. So there are some isolated glitches from time to time. And if it is, it sounds like it is, just let us know when get a ticket and get that escalated. But I don't want, Robert, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, one thing that can throw it off a little bit is naming convention. So I would try a totally different name. Get all of your hyphenation out of there, any backslashes, any kind of special characters in the name, get that out, and then try and save it again that way. That wasn't part of the issue, was it, Teresa?
No, in fact, I had done a couple other reports and they saved just fine, but the one that I wanted was a bi-weekly one, and it wouldn't let me make the changes. And so I did. I tried it with a few different other designs to see if it worked with them, and it did. So I'll go back and see if I can do it in incognito. That's the only thing I didn't try.
Okay. And then let us know, because it may be something with that specific one, I don't know. But just let me know as soon as possible, ping me or Rob.
I'll be working on it this afternoon, because I also want to change it from bi-weekly to weekly, but I first wanted to get it working for bi-weekly and then.
Gotcha. Okay. Great
Thank
question. Anyone else? All right, Robert, it's all you, but before that, I know you need permission. I'm sorry, I was delinquent in that. Let me give you co-hosting rights.
No worries.
Co-host.
This next one's kind of a craft project. It's kind of a designs craft project, I call it. So it's raining out, might as well get crafty.
All right, it's all you.
All right, I'm going to share my desktop because we're going to pop around for a couple different screens, and I'll show you. Hold on, Google Chrome post. I want to this one. It's a horrible screen of me, so I'm going to get rid of that real quick. So everyone can see my Zoom screen now, right? All
Yes.
right. So what we'll do is let me move some of these bars out of the way, and I'll take you to the Facebook page. And this is not a shameless plug. This is just showing you what we're going to do. It's this one's called Selling Safely. And what I did was I took our current listing presentation, pared it down, and made a pretty easy post out of it. Right. So just to let people know. So if you're looking for listings, we'll click. I did it two different ways. One, I created a landing page that has a lead capture at the bottom and then a link to my app. And the other one is simply just a viewer. I'll show you what this one looks like, and it'll go out, and it is kind of a slideshow, right? Selling Safely. There's 7 pages, right? The bottom line, we'll just kind of run through them real quick. That's how that one views. And then if we go back over here, if we go up to the top one, I use something called Flip Snack, which makes it look more like a magazine. So this one will come up and you can actually turn the page. Oh, whoop, whoop.
Making sure that stuff is G-rated.
I know. Sunflowers, good Lord, those are X-rated sunflowers. So, that was that one. Let's try Wheat Brand. It's this one right here. So this one here should come up. So this one was the one that I created the landing page out of, right? And there's a little full screen button here, but if you look at the elements down below that I added, was the capture, the lead capture, which was simple drag and drop, and then just my app down below. But if you click on this and go full screen, this is kind of cool. You can actually go through it and it opens it up like a digital magazine, and you can flip the pages. So that's pretty good. 7 pages. And then a blank back page, which I didn't utilize, but you can, right? So that's what those look like. So if I go into command and I go into, of course, designs, and then inside designs, I'm going to hit the teal plus button once it comes up, and we're going to go to print and click next. Once you're here, it's pretty fast. So we go into listings and listing presentations. Now, if you're not aware, we've already had some iterations of these listing presentations come through, one before COVID and one post-COVID. So the new listing presentations, which is this one, and I think that might be the older one, but these two actually have COVID pieces in them already. So if we say we're going to use this one, I did use this one. So I go in and use that, and it'll open up. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the pages really fast. So, and then go back later and edit them out. So you've got this first page that's blank. And if you notice down here, it's just spinning like crazy, right? And you want to get rid of that spinning blank page. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop this one in, which is client name. That's the one that I renamed to Selling Safely. So that comes up, client name. We wait for it to pop here. And then I go over to this one and I kill it because I don't need it. It's a little bit of a glitch in the system. There's always an initial page there that goes. So you just have to kill that first page. So then if we go over and take a look at here, the next one is Selling Safely, the page. So what I did was I just opened this up. This is going to be an easy guide. We'll go back over here and we'll scroll down through here and look for selling safely. I wish these were numbered a little bit better, but selling safely. So this one here, we're going to add, there's page 2. Third page is going to be the bottom line. Go back over here. The bottom line, we add that one. Let me just load these up real quick and then I'll go through and show you what I edited. Bottom line of promise. Go back over here and add the promise. I'm flipping back and forth between screens, so I hope I'm not giving you a headache. And then my app, seamless ways to sell. It's all in here, really. You don't have to do the whole presentation. You can just do, you know, a quick get in touch with me kind of thing, right? And then the process. What is the process? And these are a little bit out of order for me, but that's fine. Process is up here a bit. There it is, the process. Add that one. And I think there's one left, and I think that's the last one, that is how to get in touch with me. So then we go back over here, and I think it's all the way at the bottom. How to get in touch. So now you've got all 7 pages in there. All you have to do is go through each one and fill in your information, right? So here on client name, the very first one, I just edited this with the typewriter up top, right? And then put here, if you take a look at the other one here, I'll pop that down. I just changed that little banner up here, an overview on selling your home during a trying time. You know, something to catch, right? And then instead of what the other one said was client name, I went back over and changed it to selling safely. You know, and then this picture is part of command, or is part of command. It's in the where are we, images, company, and then I went down to lifestyle activities, and it loads up a whole bunch of photos, and you can use whatever. Of course, the snowy ones probably aren't great for here, but there's walking on the beach, there's, you know, jumping up and down on the beach. You just pick whatever you want or add your own, right? Yeah, Don, it could be pineapples and, you know, your logo. It could be anything, right? This right here was just an image that I added. So I went to a font place and just put in my name, so it kind of looks like a signature, and then went on from there to do the next page. Let me get out of here. Everybody by now, this page I did not edit, other than there was something in here that I believe it said wear booties in the house, and I don't know if that's a requirement here. So I took that booty piece out. I know early on somebody asked me to wear booties when I went in to show something, but it's up to you, however you want to do it, right? And then page 3 of 7, I didn't touch this one at all, other than the image. The bottom line, I just changed that one. And 4 out of 7, the promise, I changed the image there. I left everything alone. I didn't touch any of the verbiage. So 5 out of 7, my seamless app, I left that alone. The only thing I put down here is the see you on Maui. I own that domain name, and it goes directly to my app. I think, Don, you've done something similar. You can put in your app URL down here, or your app code, either way, right? So 6 out of 7, and we're almost done, right? The process, I didn't touch this at all. It's just the process, right? And then the last page, how to get in touch with me. This one, I put a logo up there, put my picture, and then put in the market center, required that I need to have. And then the logo down below and the address. So once you're done here and you've got it all saved, The one thing that we normally teach people not to do is share the project. But here I would say share the project, because the project is going to give you that slideshow. So what you would do is go back to the page number 1, right? So let's go back to page, I'm going to copy this out. Let's see, we'll go back to page number 1 here. And I don't, on a Windows box and Mac, it's maybe a little bit different, but what I use is a clippy tool, and I clip out this as an image. I post that on Facebook, and then just above the picture, I post that link. So they see the picture, they see the link. If they open up the picture in a larger format, they still have the link there. The link takes them to the slideshow in WeBrand. So you don't have to get all crazy with the flip snack deal, the digital magazine. I will tell you that digital magazine wants to brand, if you're using the free version, up in the upper corner, up in this corner up here, it'll actually have their company logo, or you can pay for it. There are some pay for pieces there where you can unbrand it, but I did it 2 different ways, and I ran an A/B test, and honestly, the flip snack one, just a simple post, no tags, no hashtags at all. It immediately got 10 people reached. If I did my the WeBrand viewer, I got 3. It's more brand awareness, and it really depends on where you put it, right? And how you tag it and how you send it out. But anybody have any questions on that? That was my craft project for today.
That is super cool. That's really nice. Thank you.
Yeah, you don't need to use things in order. Take them out of order, smash them together, and send them out. Make a crafty hat. So put your crafty hat on, right? I see you nodding, Rochelle. I know you got something spinning in your head. No?
Yeah, there's so many ways you could use that. I'm just, yeah, just kind of brainstorming, because that becomes a regular, and everybody is more prone to click a link and a video before
Right.
they click a flat image. So awesome, Robert. Thanks
Yeah.
for sharing.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, that's about it. I mean, we went through that really fast. Anybody have any questions on the mechanics of it, or how to save it? Or what you can do is you can come here if you want to get what it is selling safely. Two different pages there. One's a branding page. The bottom line, a promise, my app, the process, and get in touch. It's those things. Or you can just come to this page, open it up, and absolutely R&D it. Just look at those pages, find it in that one brochure, load up all those pages, save it. Then you can go back in and edit it at any point, right? You've got all of the things in ready to go, and you can download it, save it as a PDF. It's really easy.
One other thing I do want to say, Robert did a great job of presenting this. But the other thing is that you can, from a marketing perspective, you can actually stretch this content out even more. So if there were like 4 selling tips, then you could have a post for each day about selling tip number 1, selling tip number 2, number 3, number 4. And then that way you're saturating your top of mind about selling safely. So that's more content that you're getting out, because content is queen or king, whatever you want to say. So just really milk it for all it's worth.
Yeah, you could turn it into a series. You're absolutely right. Yeah, yeah. So
anyone else? Don, anything you want to add, Mr. Fabulous? Okay.
Sorry, had to get them on mute. No, not really. I mean, Robert's definitely, and you are definitely the kings of this type of stuff. I'm more of just a basic social media person. So this is great stuff. I mean, I knew we had listing presentations in here. I didn't realize you can just drag and drop them like that and then adjust them. So that was my.
And the one thing I will say, to your point, Don, and then backing up what Robert said, whenever you're utilizing the listing presentation and or buyer presentation, make sure you load the pages first, because many agents were like just loading one page, or not necessarily even loading the page, but they were flipping through it. And even though it showed up on the left-hand side, if it doesn't show up on the right-hand side, it's not being saved. And then you can load all of the pages, save it, and then you can go back and delete the ones you don't want. But I wanted to stress that because we have had some agents that were just flipping through on the left-hand side and editing and not realizing that none of that stuff was being saved because they didn't add it. Until you see it at the very bottom, it's not going anywhere. So make sure that you hit the plus sign, you see it at the bottom, like Robert just pulled up where it says pages and it shows you each. Make sure you see it there first and then save it and then start going back and edit it, because I don't want to have you have heartburn.
Yeah, I was going to
Over your
say
stuff not being there.
the cool tip on this right here is it drove me nuts for so long that I had that one page and I'm like, which one did I load? Which one am I duplicating that won't load? When's it going to show up? And I'm going to have two pages that are the same. So when we go back, and this is true for everything, and I think it's the way the template works right now, or the design piece, WeBrand works right now. Because when you go in and you start that presentation, say we'll use this one now. This one has the same COVID stuff in it. It's just a different format. That first page, in order to get this page bar, I think, to open up, it's going to show that one page that's just spinning. It drives me nuts because I want this page to be number one, right? So remember, you have to hit the plus button up here. You're not just showing it. You have to plus it, right? Add it to your bar down below. Once you've got the first page in, then you can go back over here and kill this one. If you just try and kill it, it's going to say cancel. There won't be a delete button there. So you got to add the first page first. Then you can cancel it, say yes, and you've got page one. You're ready to go. So that's the tool tip on that, right?
Awesome. So Thursday, we will specifically focus on tips and tricks for listing and buyer presentation. So we'll do that. And then one other component I will add according to the agent list. What did I do? I think it was marketing strategies. Teresa, do you remember what it was? I know planning, smart plan tips, and I think it was marketing strategies. I think that was,
right, but I don't remember 100%.
I think it was. I'll look through my notes. I have it somewhere, but I will almost positive that it was marketing strategies. Is there anything that people feel like they need us to call out, or anything we want to highlight before next week's listing and buyer presentation, like we did today with the smart plan tips? Anything else? I think it was marketing strategies, but I'll double check that. Anything else? Okay, so I'll flag it as marketing strategies. Yes, it was marketing strategies / Facebook leads. So I'll do a little commercial, if you will, infomercial about marketing / Facebook leads, and then we'll jump into the listing or buyer presentation. Does that work? All right, or Robert will jump into that.
Yeah.
I will be here for moral support. Go team. And then I'll add my little nugget in the beginning, and then Robert will handle the rest of it.
I'll be thinking about it. I'll be thinking about another craft project, I'm sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. And then I did put the Flip Snack website in there. So, and then Robert put another link in there as well for the Selling Safely HTML link. So make sure you get those copied out. And then I think what I'll do is I will also put it in the Week at a Glance. By chance, did anybody get that snapshot? Remember that you asked me for the Facebook, or excuse me, the social media? Did you guys get that? You want me to pull it up real quick so you can see what I'm talking about? Okay. Let's see. Give me just a quick moment. And I think it's
Robert, the landing page link's not working for me.
Me
Let me
either.
try another one for you. Sorry. Ooh, that's a horrible link. Sorry for all that verbiage or all that.
So this is, oh, sorry, Robert.
Yeah.
So this was what I sent in the week at a glance. Did you guys get that? So this, when you guys had asked for the social media image size guide, I can put it in the chat, but it's a size guide breakdown for Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, LinkedIn,
That is
Google.
awesome. I haven't been through my email, so.
Okay,
again,
so yeah,
but
I did,
okay.
I created that one for you, and let me stop share and let me see if I can add it to the chat. Give me just 1 minute. Let's see. Social media. And sorry for the delay. I want to be respectful of your time, but I want to get this in here. So just give me just a quick moment. Okay, here it is. Let me, for whatever reason, it's not, let's see. It's not pulling up. So what I'll do is I'll just individually email it to you guys.
I think that was a great guide because a lot of people get really confused on narrow, tall, fat, wide, short, square. What do you use where? Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Is it a banner? Is it a, is it,
So I'll send it
post?
to you all in a separate email. And I'll do it 5 minutes after this. But let me just make sure I get a screenshot of everybody. Okay, got it. And I'll send it to you in 5 minutes. All right, thanks everyone. I appreciate the
Thank you.
time, and we will see you on Thursday at 10:30.
Woohoo!
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.